Alright, so for an exploded axo view, you want to start with a 3D view, but we have other things we want to do here. So we want to duplicate this one with detailing. So now I've got a copy. I can make all the changes I want here and it won't impact this one. I'm going to rename it as exploded axo. Axo is just short for axonometric. So you'll hear isometric and axonometric used. ISO is a specific type of axonometric where the angles are identical. Axo itself is a lot more flexible. So there's stuff I don't care about here. So I'm going to start hiding things like this scope box. I don't want to see any model lines. So I'm going to hide in view again, but I'm going to do the whole category in case there's some I'm not seeing. And same thing for the levels. I just need to highlight one of them and I can hide the entire category. So now I'm left, okay, I've got some stuff here. This was the graphic scale I made for my floor plans. Hide those. Okay, I think that's everything. I want to make sure first that I am fine. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to make sure I've got smooth lines on. It's up to you if you want to show edges or not. This would be more what you would see in real life with no edges. And now if I try to explode this, it's going to take a lot of room on the presentation board because of this steep angle. So I'm just going to come to the edge of the 3D cube here. I'm going to play with it a little bit. So now I've still got a bit of a bird's eye. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this orientation and lock it for now. So to keep this here, rather than going one by one, clicking each roof, I'm going to go back and forth between the regular 3D view and this view in order to do the exploded. So I'm going to come to my south view. It's up to you what you want to show. If you only want to start with the skylights and have those be separated, you could do that. Or if you wanted the skylights with the roofs first, you could do that. So I'm going to just go left to right drag. I'm going to highlight a lot of stuff. It's going to be more than I actually want, so I'm going to click filter. I don't want any curtain walls. I don't want any lines. I don't want any of my structural framings or my walls. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to go ahead and do the skylights and roofs together. I'm going to click apply. Okay. Now that I got my selection, I'm going to come back to my exploded axo. And there's this button up here. It's in between the light bulb and the ruler. It says displace elements. So once I click that, this shows up. And I can drag this upwards. And again, I'm going to be dragging more things. So I need to give myself enough room. And if I change my mind later, it's okay, because this is now a group in this view. So I don't have to go selecting one by one. I can just click the whole thing and I can change the height. If you want to give a sense of relation to the building so it doesn't just look like it's floating randomly, you can click path up here while it's highlighted. And now if I come to the corners, I'm showing that this comes down to the main building. So now for me, I think I want to show the structure part of it. So I'm going to come back to 3D. Again, left to right. I'm going to highlight everything, use my filter, and now all I want is my columns and my arches and the beams that connect everything. So I call those structural connections and structural framing. I'm going to click apply, okay. And so now I'm going to go back into my exploded axo. Again, I'm going to say displace. And now I'm going to drag these up. So this gives a lot of information about how this building is put together. So we know we've got these roofs with these skylights and that they're sitting on top of this structural system holding everything in place. And now the bare minimum for me would be to take this main floor and also raise it up. The basement is pretty much in the topography on this project, so I typically leave it there. But again, come back into 3D. I want to do left to right, and again, if I go left to right, the only things getting selected are things fully inside of this selection. So even though I'm touching the basement walls, I'm not actually selecting them because I'm not going down here. So again, I highlight them, click filter, and we've already done our roofs and everything else. So all we're doing at this point is our curtain walls, our one floor, and then the rest of our walls. Everything else has already been done or is not something we care about. So I'm going to say apply. Okay. Again, I got to switch back to the exploded axo. I'm going to say displace elements. Now I'm going to raise that up. So now this gives us quite a bit of information about the building and how it's put together. This would be kind of the minimum. If I wanted to really show more, I could have done just the skylights first, then the roofs, then I could have done the light diffusion fixtures, then the columns and arches, then this floor. I'm not sure what's showing down here, but I'm going to go ahead and hide them. Oh, this is our picture frames. All right, so this can get really confusing because it looks like maybe it's sitting on the ground over here. So you definitely want to click it and say path again, and then maybe add on one of these inside corners. And maybe this outside corner as well. All right, so that is it for the exploded axo. Now you can just export this as a lossless JPEG and include that as part of your presentation.